Gyarados Raid Day is quickly approaching this weekend, but they have announced level 80 literally 2 or 3 days ago. This is our first opportunity to try and take advantage of that, considering some of the changes they've announced. We're also going to look at 1 or 2 important things that you need to consider for this raid day. And last but not least, we will discuss, is our featured raid day Pokemon even worth it in 2025? And is it even worth raiding? This is Mega Gyarados Raid Day with Go With Us. First and foremost, dates. The Mega Gyarados Raid Day will be taking place this Sunday, the 31st of August from 2 to 5 p.m. local time, which brings about our featured Raid Day Pokemon. No, not you, Magikarp. Okay, you can stay. Mega Gyarados. Mega Gyarados is a water and dark type Pokemon, which is the mega evolution of regular Gyarados, which is a water and flying type Pokemon originally coming from the Kanto region in Generation 1. How good is Mega Gyarados though? Let's have a look at its base stats. It has a max CP of 5332, which off the bat is tremendously good, an attack of 292, which is very, very good, a defense of 247, which is, I must say, incredibly impressive as I read this again, and a stamina of 216. I know this is a Mega Pokemon, but these stats are very strong. It takes reduced damage from Dark, Fire, Ghost, Ice, Steel, and Water, but it double resists Psychic. The fast attacks it has access to is going to be Bite, Dragon Breath, Dragon Tail, which is going to require an elite fast TM, as well as Waterfall. And then a charge moves that it has access to is going to be Twister, Dragon Pulse, which is also an elite charge TM, Hydro Pump, Outrage, Crunch. But the top one is going to be Aqua Tail. After looking at these stats, very strong start, but let's get these bonuses out of the way. The remote raid limit will be increased to 20 from Saturday the 30th of August all the way until Sunday the 31st of August at 8 p.m. PDT time. Trainers can receive up to 5 additional free raid passes from spinning gyms, but remember, and we're going to slot this in here, if you don't do a raid the day before, that pass the day before will carry over, so you'll actually be able to do 6. And just like it is in other raid days, every Gyarados that we encounter from a Mega Gyarados raid is going to have an increased shiny rate, and I believe that's going to be in 1 in 20 on these days, so a really good chance at a potential Shundo here. Definitely worth mentioning as well, if trainers want to upgrade their raid day experience, for a total cost of $5 you can get the raid day ticket, which is going to grant you an additional 8 free raid passes for, again, a total of 14 if you don't do a raid the day before. Like we said, we can get increased chance to get rare XL candy from completing raids, especially for trainers level 31 and up. We're going to get 50% more XP from raid battles, and we're also going to get 2 times the Stardust from raid battles. To see if these tickets are worth it, if we just take a look at what 14 or 15 passes would cost on its own, you're already at $15, and that does not include the Stardust bonus or the XP bonus. So to be honest, if you look at a $5 ticket like this, very worth it. Great, details are out of the way, but how do we take down Mega Gyarados? Because we already know its typing. We already discussed its resistances, but if we look at its weaknesses, it's actually weak to 5 different things, which is going to be Fighting, Bug, Grass, Electric, and Fairy. Now that we know its weaknesses, we can get into our counter guide. So the best Mega Pokemon you could use to take down this Pokemon is going to be Mega Lucario with Force Palm and Aura Sphere. We would then look at Mega Sceptile with Fury Cutter and Frenzy Plant. You could definitely use Mega Heracross with Counter and Mega Horn, as well as Mega Gardevoir with Charm and Dazzling Gleam. In terms of the best Shadow counters you could use, we would definitely look at Shadow Regigigas if you do have it, with Hidden Power, Grass, and Crush Grip. Shadow Raikou would be in there with Thunder Shock and Wild Charge. Shadow Sceptile makes another appearance with Fury Cutter and Frenzy Plant. Even Shadow Conkeldurr could serve you very well with Counter and Dynamic Punch. Some budget counters you could use is definitely going to be Gardevoir with Charm and Dazzling Gleam. I would also look at Lucario again with Force Bomb and Aura Sphere. You could even throw in something like a Venusaur if you have nothing better, with Vine Whip and Frenzy Plant. And an honorable mention for something like Hisui and Decidueye with Magical Leaf and Aura Sphere. Because we have its weaknesses and our counter guide locked down, it's important to mention now, the great thing about Mega Gyarados is that it's not a very difficult Pokemon to take down. According to Pokebattler, we only need about 1 or 2 trainers to even take this thing down, so this Pokemon is definitely soloable. If you want to know the 100% IVs for that Pokemon, in non-weather boosted weather, it's going to be 1937 CP, but in weather boosted weather, which is going to be rainy or windy weather, it's going to be 2422 because of that water and flying typing. I would recommend Mega Evolving a level 3 water type Pokemon or flying type Pokemon so you can accumulate the candy as well as the XL candy for Gyarados. For example, if you have a Magikarp in your bag that's a hundo but you don't have the candy, remember Magikarp needs 400 candy to even evolve into Gyarados. So this already fast tracks that evolution, but more importantly, you you are going to need the candy as well as XL candy if you really want a good Mega Gyarados, which as we know is a water and dark type Pokemon. Guys, the main bonus of the Sun-Kissed Shores event is that it's going to be 2 times XP for completing raid battles. A lot of people overlook this, but just like we mentioned, because level 80 is around the corner, the whole XP grind has changed entirely. Unfortunately, they're wiping out all the tasks from level 40 to 50, and it will be replaced purely by XP gains. So if you're trying to get to level 31, level 50 before the level 50 cap gets replaced, or just trying to prepare for level 80 and find better ways of getting XP, guys, this is the first event we can do that, and let me explain to you why. Whenever you complete a mega raid, you get about 10,000 XP. With the bonus they've just announced with that event, you're going to get an additional 3,000 XP. If you have the ticket, you're going to have an additional 5,000 XP because that's 50% of 10,000. If we take the total figure, that takes us to about 18,000 XP. With Sun-Kissed Shores running, we should get about 35,000 XP for completing these raids. I want you guys to drop a lucky egg for the entirety of this event, which means it's going to double already what has been doubled your total of XP. So instead of getting 35,000 or 36,000, you're now going to get up to 70,000 XP per raid. Guys, that is absolutely bonkers. In fact, that's on the level of some of these D-Max and G-Maxes we've been doing in recent weeks. An incredible opportunity to get XP in the game. A lot of the important stuff is out of the way, but now it's time for our main question, which is this Pokemon even worth raiding? The best way to do that is to look at the rankings in the Battle League as well as a raid attacker. Let's start off in the Battle League. The Shadow form is ranked 258, the regular is at 300, the optimal IV set you want there is going to be a 0-14-15, and the Ultra League, it's performing better in the 200s. Optimal IV set you want there is going to be a 0-15-14, but again, we're not going to be able to get these stats because the base stat floor on raid days is going to be 10-10-10, but it's actually in the Master League, funny enough, where this Pokemon shines best. Currently, its Shadow is in the top 40 with XL Candy at 15-15-15, and its regular is just outside also with that XL Candy at rank 52, which is very impressive, but it doesn't end there because in the Mega Master League, whenever that does come around in rotation, Mega Gyarados is arguably the best pick to use because it takes on that dark typing and it has key wins against something like a Lunala, for example, a very good Pokemon to have in PvP. If we look in the raid attacking categories, if we look at water, for example, guys, it's currently the 5th best water type attacker in the game, which is so impressive with that waterfall and hydro pump combination. Hydro pump is not necessarily the best move to use because it is a 1-bar charge, so it takes a bit of time to charge up, but even in the dark type category, it's taking the 8th spot with Bite and Crunch, which is a much better moveset on this Pokemon. But I want to highlight this for you guys specifically to see how good this Mega really is. Look in the TDO column. This is effectively the column which describes the bulk, in other words, how long this Pokemon can last on the field for so long. Look in the water as well as the dark type category. Its TDO is actually in the top 3 for each category. It's beating out something like a Kyogre as well as a Shadow Kyogre and Mega Blastoise just as a bulky Pokemon. And even in the dark type category, I believe it's the 2nd bulkiest Pokemon to use, which I think is very impressive, although there are some frail dark types in that category. Overall, this Pokemon is an absolute must raid. Is it worth it and isn't worth your time? Definitely. Mega Gyarados is going to serve you so well. Remember that the day before this event, we have Rookity Calm Day. If you guys want to check it out, please check it out up here. We're going to leave it as the end screen. Appreciate you guys being here. Please smash that like and subscribe button. It's the best way to tell the YouTube machine that you want to see more of our content. Keep watching. Our channel is growing by the day. Love you guys so much. Please send us to the top. We need you. We're relying on you, and we'll catch you in the next one, baby. You know what's next. Shh.